Hello and welcome to the daily cricket show. Cricket happenings, albeit a bit late, I would say. But nevertheless, I'm back here on this particular cricket show to talk about the first day's play in the first test match between Zimbabwe and West Indies. As I said, Zimbabwe are a very strong team nowadays, and you could see in the efforts that they put. In fact, they bowled out the West Indies for 219 with the pitch starting to take turn right on the first day, and signs are ominous, I would say. And West Indies 219 were all out, and Zimbabwe in the 5 overs got 19 for no loss. So definitely Zimbabwe definitely taking the honours on the first day, which also saw the coming back of Brendan Taylor and Kyle Jarvis into the mix. As far as other cricket is concerned, tomorrow is the start of the first one-day international at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, where India take on New Zealand in the first one-day international. And I would say, it's a renewal of the battle that, as you would remember, India swamped New Zealand 5-0 on their last visit. New Zealand have definitely made a few tweaks, a few changes, and one would be willing to see as to what comes out of it. Tom Latham will be opening, won't be opening the innings. He was the sort of the cornerstone for New Zealand in the ODI series against New Zealand, even though New Zealand lost it, as you would remember. I'll come back to that later. And also, in fact, Bangladesh have something to salvage if at all they could win the final ODI against South Africa at East London. So first, let's head on towards the first day's play between Zimbabwe and West Indies. It was played at the Bulawayo cricket ground, and West Indies were the one to talk. The weather was a bit cloudy, and one was a bit surprised at the decision of the West Indies captain Jason Holder in cloudy conditions to actually bat first. Probably I thought the West Indian bowlers could have got more purchase out of the wicket. With these cloudy conditions, they might have probably nipped out a few Zimbabwean wickets, but one did not know what is the reason that Jason Holder decided. Probably one thing probably would have been in Jason Holder's mind after looking at the way this match played and also seeing the ball actually turn right on the first day. I am tempted to think that Jason Holder probably thought that he doesn't want to be, the West Indies doesn't want to be caught on a last day pitch. So that is something, that's the only reason I would say that Jason Holder probably decided to elect to bat first. So let's see what happens. So Brathwaite and Powell walked in, and Kyle Jarvis, who was making his comeback, was given, he was having a tattoo on his hand, and he had a nice haircut, a new haircut, and one could see what this English county experience had done to him. He was bowling a very tight line. The runs were not easy at the other end. Pofu was also doing a good job. The conditions were absolutely ideal for swing bowling, and that was one of the balls that Jarvis delivered, which actually left Brathwaite. Brathwaite poked at it, and Chakabwa was the one. So Jarvis was the one who actually gave a quick breakthrough for the Zimbabweans by nipping out Brathwaite for just 3 runs. And as we know, Brathwaite can be a very stubborn customer if he lasts. And then Kieron Powell was joined in by Kyle Hope, and Solomon Marr was given a test debut today, and Solomon Marr did not disappoint on his test debut, as with the score reaching 35, he nipped the wicket of Kyle Hope. Now this was a ball from Solomon Marr, which was a nicely bowled. I thought it was probably an off-cutter from Solomon Marr, and Kyle Hope actually played into the hands of the slips. Chakabwa picking up the catch. Kyle Hope gone 16 with 3 boundaries. 35 for 2 was the score of the West Indies at the time. Kieron Powell was looking solid at the crease as Shai Hope joined in, and then there definitely started a sort of a real repair job. From 35 for 2, it was Shai Hope along with Kieron Powell. Kieron Powell is looking solid. He was nicely getting behind the line of the ball, and Shai Hope was also doing the same. And Shai Hope, as you know, he's one of the future West Indies batsmen now, and he was really showing it why by playing the pace and spin alike. And as the score gradually moved on, a very good partnership happened to actually help them recover, a 75-run partnership. And then finally, Kieron Powell was dismissed. Now, this was the phase so this was the wicket where Graham Creamer, the captain, actually picked up the wicket of Kieron Powell for 56 with 6 boundaries. Shai Hope was doing very well. He was nurturing the innings along as Roston Chase came in, and Roston Chase provided very good support. It was solid support that Roston Chase provided as another partnership started, which added 64 runs for the 4th wicket before, and that was the time one really saw the ball had started turning. Sikandar Raza picked up the wicket of Roston Chase for 31 with 3 boundaries, which made the score 174 for 4. So, the things were looking absolutely under control at 174 for 4, even though Zimbabweans were doing well. Shai Hope was still there in the middle. He was joined in by the attractive stroke maker Jermaine Blackwood at the other end. The score reached 174 for 4. But after that, what happened was something which was really something that Zimbabwe would be very happy about. The spinners totally dominated the show with Sikandar Raza, Creamer, Williams amongst the wickets, and suddenly there was a spectacular collapse. It was basically 45 runs and all the West Indies batsmen were back in the pavilion, and they were all out for 219. It started off with Jermaine Blackwood being a victim of Creamer as he tried to get inside around the ball, and besides doing that, Blackwood was beaten. He was stumped by Chakab above the bowling of Creamer for 1. Shane Dowridge continued his bad batting form. Sean Williams, and that was the time one was seeing the ball had started turning, and it was really spelling some real dangerous signs there. Shane Dowridge was gone for 11 with 2 boundaries. Jason Holt was LBW bowled Williams for 8. Bishu caught, and after that the tail was totally cleaned up, I would say, and Shai Hope was just seeing everything at the other end happen, as Bishu was a victim of the Williams for naught. Kemar Roche was LBW bowled Creamer for naught. Gabriel was out to the bowling of Creamer for naught, and the West Indies innings totally collapsing to the Zimbabwean spinners. They were all out for 219, leaving Shai Hope on an unbeaten 90 of 7 fours and 1 6. Very good knock from Shai Hope under the circumstances, but 219 all out was never a good score, and as I said, the ball was turning. Let's have a look at the Zimbabwean bowling card. Jarvis on his comeback, 40 overs, 2 minutes, 40 runs and 1 wicket. Pofu did a fine job, really controlled his bowling there. 40 overs, 4 minutes, none for 20. We also saw some real nip in his bowling today. Solomon Meyer, 7 overs, 1 for 22, got his maiden test wicket today of Kyle Hope. Creamer getting 4 wicket back, 23.5 overs, 3 maidens, 64 runs and 4 wickets. Sikandar Raza, 11 overs, 1 maiden, 142. Sean Williams doing a fine job, 13 overs, 4 maidens, 3 for 20 for his skipper. 219 all out was what West Indies had on the board, and there was just 5 overs left for Zimbabwe. Hamilton Masakaja decided to really, I would say buckle down. He was not taking any risk at all, probably playing for tomorrow. But Solomon Meyer was the opener who was making his test debut. But Solomon Meyer was not afraid to play his strokes. He's a very good hitter of the ball as well, and he has good stroke making capabilities too. He was watchful. They definitely were watchful in the pace bowlers of the bowling, and we also saw some bit of spin from the West Indies with Jason Holder wasting no time in bringing Bishu and Chase into the mix. And one saw Roston Chase in the last over of the day after Solomon Meyer had actually hit boundaries of the bowling of Holder, where he creamed one through the cover region. One was a pull shot, but one of the shots that he played against Roston Chase was simply beautiful, because Solomon Meyer was not really getting, but it was all about the power that actually he transferred his weight, and the power actually took the ball out of the ground. So a massive hit from Solomon Meyer, not out on 17, and that too he probably one would probably say whether that was the right shot, but Finally, the end result was the ball sailed out of the ground, and Solomon Mar was not out on 17, 2 4s and 1 6 on his test debut. 19 for no loss was what Zimbabwe ended up at close of play on the first day of the first test match. Gabriel 2 overs, 1 minute, none for 2. Jason Holder bowled 1 over 9. Bishu had 1 over, 1 run, and Chase bowled 1 over 6. That was the 6 which was hit by Solomon Mar. So definitely, as I said, the honours taken by Zimbabwe, there's no doubt about it. And as I said, the ball has started turning right on the first day, and it really spells ominous signs. So one thing that one would probably, as I said in my initial part itself, that Jason Holder, the reason he probably elected to bat first, which was a bit surprising, as I said, but looking at the way the ball turned on the first day, I'm not at all surprised that Jason Holder took this decision, because Zimbabweans should be the ones who would be batting last on this pitch, and Devendra Bishu of West Indies, we know what a good and experienced bowler he is. So, but anyway, we have to really look at what really pans out on the second day. Now, let's have a look at the first ODI, which is coming up tomorrow. It's coming up between New Zealand and India. India, as you would remember, India swamped New Zealand 5-0 in their previous exchanges, which probably I think it was not probably very recently it happened, and New Zealand. Let's have a look at New Zealand first. This is going to be played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and let's have a look at what would be in store in this particular thing. Now, one thing I can say, the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, when South Africa and India clashed, we definitely know that there was torrent of runs coming in. In fact, it was 400 runs which was amassed in the last ODI that was played between South Africa and India. South Africa going on to 438, as you would remember. As far as New Zealand are concerned, they have made a few changes as well. As you would remember, last time, the main man who really held the innings together, even though New Zealand lost it, one man who was playing spin, one man who was playing spin in the best possible manner. It was none other than Tom Latham, as you would remember. And Tom Latham was the one who actually carried his bat through the innings. He was very consistent as well. He played the spin in a very wonderful manner. He was the best player against spin, as you would remember. But let me tell you, Tom Latham's role has been changed in this particular series. They have realized that Tom Latham can be very effective against spin, and New Zealand have gone for a sort of a new approach here, where they are sending Tom Latham at number 5, and not only that, he will also be holding the keeping gloves, thus giving an opportunity for another player to be accommodated into the team. So let's have a look at the New Zealand team. Martin Guptill, and they are going to allow some after the absence of Brendan McCullum, who has retired. There seems to be lacking firepower. Even though Martin Guptill at times can really unravel something of that sort, they really need some firepower. So they've decided that Colin Munro will open the innings with Martin Guptill, and we all know what Colin Munro can do. He can be pretty devastating on his day, because he really hits the ball very hard. We have seen what he did in the CPL as well. So Colin Munro and Martin Guptill will open the innings. Kane Williamson he's going to be the captain of the innings, and he's another one. We all know his greatness as far as not only as a captain, also as a player. Ross Taylor, on the warm-up match, he scored a century as well, and he's always a sort of very handy to have in the team, Ross Taylor. And then now after Tom Latham, whether they are going to have Henry Nicholls or they're going to have another good hitter of the ball, Glenn Phillips, one does not know. One is waiting to watch as to what really the New Zealand think tank is going to do. Colin de Granholm is a very good all-rounder. They have Mitchell Santon, another good all-rounder. Now East Sodhi has come in because Todd Astle is out due to injury. He was selected initially. So East Sodhi, right-arm leggy, who has always been good against the Indians, I thought. And Trent Bolt and Tim Southee will man the pace resources, and we all know that Trent Bolt is someone where there's going to be a real challenge for the Indians, because he definitely bowls very well on any pitch. And Trent Bolt also took 5 wickets in the warm-up game against the board President Sullivan as well. So let's have a look at the Indian team now. as far as the Indian team is concerned, Rohit Sharma will definitely have a challenge with Trent Bolt, because Trent Bolt definitely had the better of him in the exchanges that happened between India and New Zealand in the 5 ODIs. Shikhar Dhawan will be back in business, so Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma will open the innings. Virat Kohli, well, he's the captain and he's also the star of the Indian team, no doubt about it. Kedar Jadhav, the bits and pieces player for India. MS Dhoni, Manish Pandey, and one has to say whether it's going to be Manish Pandey or Dinesh Karthik, that would be a sort of a real toss-up, and I would probably say Manish Pandey, because of late we have seen that he played well. I mean, in the current series that happened against Australia, I thought Manish Pandey did well. So Hardik Pandya, let's understand one thing about Hardik Pandya, and New Zealand will also know that Hardik Pandya was just making his debut in ODIs, but now Hardik Pandya is being compared to great all-rounders like Ben Stokes. One knows that he's under hot water in England, but Hardik Pandya is having the X factor now. And the other good thing that probably after what we have seen in the current series against Australia is that in the year he has 28 sixes in the year 2017, so he's a real sixer specialist for India. He's a wonderful all-rounder, and also he has really mastered the knuckle ball to good effect, and which also yielded him some wickets against Australia. So he has the knuckle ball, and he also has a tremendous off-cutter as well. So definitely New Zealand are in for some really going to see some new things happen when Hardik Pandya will be there. He means business with both bat and ball. The bowling, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Jasprit Bumrah are one of the most trusted ones who can really control the batting. I mean, in the sense with their bowling, they can really see to it that they keep the New Zealand batting on a tight leash. And then the bowlers, Kuldeep Yadav, Yuzvendra Chahal, two wrist spinners, which definitely worked wonders when the Aussies were here. So Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal will once again be expected to deliver the good against New Zealand. We all know that New Zealand predominantly have a weakness or are fallible against spin. But as I said, it was only Tom Latham who did a wonderful job in the previous series. So this is, and it's going to be played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Mumbai has been receiving a lot of rain nowadays, which is unseasonal, one could say. But the forecast says that Sunday is going to be hot and humid. So definitely we are in for some real nice cricket, I suppose, at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Now, on the just lastly, the third ODI, which is coming up, we know it's a mere formality where Bangladesh will have an opportunity to see whether they can salvage something out of this particular final one-day international, which is coming up at East London. And as far as East London is concerned, let's have a look at the Bangladesh team and let's see like what they can do better to turn around things, if at all they want to do it in East London. So just looking at the team, as far as the team is concerned, Tamim Iqbal is there, but Tamim Iqbal could not do much, even though he was there in the team. But one knows that Tamim Iqbal, what value he brings to the team, and if he really gets into that nick that he is known for, he could be a very tough customer, as we all know. So let's have a look at the Bangladesh team as to what they are planning here. Imrul Kais, probably Litan Das is not amongst the runs, so Soumya Sarkar, Litan Das might make way for Soumya Sarkar, the very good strokeful player. They have good experience in the middle. Shakib Al Hasan, Mushfiqur Rahim has become the first Bangladeshi player to actually make a century in any format of the game against South Africa, and that should be a proud feeling because we all know that South Africa are a mighty team. Mahmoodullah, Sabir Rahman probably has to really get up with something here. The bowling, Mehdi Hassan Miraz has not been having a good tour of South Africa, but definitely he's a very talented bloke, we all know that. Mashraf Murtaza, Rubail Hussain, so the pace will. So I think the pace attack from Bangladesh are not looking really, I would say, not looking very intimidating at all. So South Africa, and as far as South Africa are concerned, the only change I see here is that Aiden Markram, who made a very good test debut is going to make his ODI debut tomorrow, and the reason being Hashim Amla is out due to an injury, so he will be rested. And other than that, probably whether they are tempted to play Farhan Bedi. Yes, we would have one surprise here. Vian Mulder, the all-rounder, who is a very young all-rounder, under I think 17, 19, and he has been spoken very highly by Otis Gibson, the coach of South Africa, the new coach of South Africa, and it's very interesting to see. So probably we might have Mulder as an all-rounder into the mix, and it will be interesting to see how it goes. And one would really like to see what is that Otis Gibson, the new coach of South Africa, actually liked in him. It will be interesting to see that. So I'm looking forward to that. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think it's about time for me to end this daily cricket show on this very happy note. And I'll be back in business once again with you all, dear friends and subscribers, with the second day's play in the match between Zimbabwe and West Indies. Also, I'll cover the third and final one-day international, the India versus New Zealand, the first one-day international. And till such time I see you blokes, it's goodbye.